The U.S. arm of crypto exchange Bittrex is set to open for customer withdrawals today. It comes following a ruling by a Delaware bankruptcy court. Our first guest is Bittrex Chief Legal Officer David Maria. Welcome, David.
Good morning.
Let's talk about this. So in that ruling, the judge authorized Bittrex US to permit their customers holding undisputed, non-contingent, and liquidated claims to withdraw cryptocurrency assets and fiat currency. That was a quote. What else do U.S. customers need to know about these withdrawals?
Well, we're hopeful that we'll open up today. It's going to happen. We're not sure exactly when all the engineering is going to be done, but it's going to open today. Notice is already going out to the customers by email, so anyone who has funds still on the exchange will have the opportunity, not just today, obviously, but until the end of August, to get back on, access their accounts, and withdraw the assets that they have in their accounts. They'll have to make sure that they have their passwords set, that they have their the appropriate information, ID verification, the rest of the KYC requirements. But if that's all in order, they'll be able to withdraw the assets without going through the formal bankruptcy claims process.
Go ahead, Jen.
Okay. The judgment doesn't determine who legally owns the assets or whether customer claims are favored over the government's. And there could be some clawbacks in the future. I think these were notable remarks in the story that came out this morning. Can you explain what that means?
So there was a back and forth. The government had some objections regarding the prioritization of these claims over their claims. So it was just negotiating the language, getting something out in front of the judge that the judge could agree to, that sort of reserved the rights of the government in the event there aren't enough assets to make them whole. Our priority all along was to make sure that customers were made whole. So even before filing for bankruptcy, we left the exchange open for a month after announcing that we were going to shut down. We were hopeful that everyone would get on then and withdraw what's in their accounts. For the people who haven't, we made this motion, which is, from what I understand, a relatively extraordinary form of relief in the bankruptcy court, but we pushed hard for it, as did our lawyers, and we're able to get this relief. So in terms of what it means in the long run, we as an exchange don't intend to try to claw anything back, but I guess it reserves the rights of the government to do so at the end of this if they're not made whole.
So what's next in the bankruptcy proceedings?
So in terms of how it affects customers, this period will happen over the next almost 2 months, I suppose, 6 weeks to 2 months in the end of August. For those folks who aren't able to get their credentials right, haven't provided the right information, there still will be the normal bankruptcy claims process. So anyone who is a customer or and other creditors, there's the website they can go to. It links from ours, and then they can go through the formal claims process where they would file a claim with the bankruptcy court, and then ultimately the court decides the validity of those claims. So there are a couple tiers in order to make sure that customers can get the assets off the exchange.
We have to get your thoughts here. Bittrex faced charges from U.S. regulators claiming that it violated federal law by operating an unregistered securities exchange. We now see the SEC bringing cases against Coinbase and Binance. What are your thoughts on the regulatory outlook in the U.S.?
I won't get into too much detail about the merits of the claim. I listened earlier as Ripple's chief legal officer spoke. We agree with a lot of the positions they've taken. It's been a difficult road because we've tried to do everything the right way, and we continue to do so. The lack of guidance and the lack of regulatory clarity has been a huge problem, not just for the coin teams, but for the exchanges. There just wasn't any set guidance as to what the SEC's views were at that point. So everyone would have to take their best efforts to do what they thought was appropriate. And I think that's where we all are. And now everyone's getting charged. So it doesn't seem like an effective regulatory regime. And it really goes to the whole notion that everyone speaks about of regulation by enforcement, which other countries just don't do. And that's why it seems like a lot of exchanges are moving elsewhere to where they will be told what they can and can't do.
David, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
That was Bittrex Chief Legal Officer David Maria.